Have you ever felt like there's something or someone watching over you, especially when you need it most? Maybe you were driving, and out of nowhere, a sudden feeling told you to slow down just in time to avoid an accident. Or perhaps you've been in a moment of complete despair, and then, bam, a stranger gives you a word of encouragement that feels like it was meant just for you. It's almost as if there are unseen forces around us, quietly guiding and protecting us through life, like angels, not always visible, but always present, nudging us in the right direction when we least expect it. They don't always wear wings, but trust me, they're there. I had a moment like that once. I was walking down a busy street, caught up in my own thoughts, feeling the weight of life's challenges. I remember thinking, how did I get here? My mind was heavy, and just then, a stranger stopped me. A simple, "Hey, you look like you could use a coffee." And just like that, the heaviness started to lift. She didn't know what I was going through, but somehow, that random act of kindness felt like it came from something beyond just a chance encounter. It was as if, in that moment, an angel had sent her my way to remind me that things could get better. Then there was that time when I was running late to a meeting. The kind of day where everything seemed to go wrong. I was speeding down the highway, trying to make up for lost time, when out of nowhere a car in front of me slammed on its brakes. Instinctively, I swerved, narrowly missing a pile of debris on the road. My heart raced, but something deep inside told me I'd just been spared. And sure enough, when I arrived at my destination, I found out that meeting had been delayed. Was it just luck, or was it something more? I still wonder if I had an angel looking out for me in that moment. It's funny, isn't it? How in those quiet moments, when the world feels overwhelming, things just seem to align in ways that are almost too perfect. A few years ago, I was feeling completely lost, unsure of my next move, and then, out of nowhere, a phone call. Someone I hadn't heard from in years called me with a job offer. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. It was as though someone had whispered in their ear to reach out to me. I'll never know for sure, but I choose to believe it wasn't just coincidence. It felt like divine intervention, a nudge from somewhere beyond. We don't always notice the angels among us because they often work in subtle ways. I remember a time when I was down on my luck, struggling to make ends meet. One day, I sat down at a cafe feeling defeated. As I stared out the window, lost in my thoughts, a familiar face appeared at the counter. An old friend I hadn't seen in years. She came over to me, sat down, and we talked for hours about life, love, and the challenges we face. At the end of our conversation, she handed me a business card. "Call me," she said. "I think I have something that might help." That connection changed my life. Was she an angel in disguise? It sure felt like it. And here's the thing. You don't always see them, but you feel them. You feel that peace in the middle of chaos, that sudden reassurance when everything feels uncertain. There in the small things, too, in the people who show up at just the right moment, or the feeling that there's something guiding you, even when the path is unclear. Maybe it's a little nudge when you're going down the wrong road, or a quiet voice telling you everything will be all right when you've lost hope. Angels are everywhere, in the light and in the shadows, making sure we never truly walk alone. And who knows, maybe you're the angel in someone else's life, offering a bit of hope when they need it most.